Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to this beautiful Sunday. A little gray and overcast at my house, and I celebrate that. Having lived in a desert climate for a while, I appreciate clouds and rain. Although I know parts of our country are really struggling with weather, so I don't want to make light of anything. But I'm filming some live readings this morning for March because, believe it or not, March is so close. I'm going to use the Guardian Angel deck here, get the card spread. Excellent. And so if you're joining me this morning, I try to get on every Sunday morning for live. And since last week, I'm appearing as a new incarnation because Tarnished Angel is now a fish out of water tarot. And the reason I'm calling it fish out of water tarot is because I personally have lived a life of being a fish out of water and have made an adventure of things, because sometimes feeling like you don't fit in is the very best thing that can happen to a person, even though you're not expecting that. So welcome. If you're here for the first time, I'm Catherine, and I do love to help people find what the missing piece is. If for some reason you feel that you're missing something, maybe you're lonely, maybe you wish you had more spending money, maybe you wish that your family would call you and they don't. All of those kinds of things are very, very important to the angelic realm. They have a heart for people who are feeling disconnected. So, this reading this morning is all about that. So, we are asking for the angels to give us encouragement when we are feeling a little isolated. So, the very first card I'm going to pick today is going to be just an overriding theme for today's readings on finding connection. And connection doesn't necessarily mean a lover or a romance. Connection can happen when you're at Starbucks and you make eye contact with the barista and they join you for that moment of humanity. And you can truly give loving connection to anybody that walks into your life at any time. And so, the theme for this reading today, for all of these angel messages that we're going to do, see how I can get this in good light so we can see it, is the Seven of Air. Good morning, Jahan. I am very well, thank you. I'm glad to see you, and I would be happy to draw a card for you. I'll put your name on my list. But we're taking a look here at the Seven of Air, and notice the little child that's sleeping on the bench. You know, this is a beautiful card for what we're asking for today, because when you're feeling a bit isolated and alone, which is really what this child is indicating on this bench, she's has some food, so she's collected her own sustenance and now she's resting. But look behind her and look at the angel and the other child. And I think this is so true for us sometimes when we're feeling the most isolated. There are people that do love us, and it's up to us to find a way to connect to them. Maybe we don't see them. You might have a family member who's living in a different country. You might have a family member who is living who has decided they don't want to be with you for a while. That can be painful. But remember, the angels are always there. And sometimes we need to be separate from someone because they're really not good for us. Can you relate to that? Have you ever had a family member or a former friend that really is not good for you? If you have, drop a comment, let me know. Because in those times, you can feel very lonely, even though you know the person is not the best for you, right? And so what we need to remember is the angels are always there guiding. So this is our overall theme for the reading today. And so if you're first time visiting, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Do subscribe so that you'll be notified when I come on live. And also, if you give me a thumbs up, it's like a hug and I receive it deeply. I really appreciate your being here. And the last thing, of course, if you'd like a card pulled today, please leave your name in the or just comment and I'll see you and I will draw a card for you. Okay, and the cards today are all about feeling connection. As we approach the new month, March is coming, lots of new things are growing, the gardens are starting to pop here in the States, and it's just a reminder that we cannot stand still. We are always growing. And if we're wanting more connection, that is a viable, important goal. But sometimes we can be demanding and think, oh, I need connection from this person, or I need to be connected to that job. And that puts handcuffs on the universe. We need to be open-minded when we're looking for our connection. So Jahan, let's see if we draw a card for you today. What do the angels have to say for Jahan? And we have here the Nine of Earth. This is a wonderful card. It's the sign of hard work and collecting the benefits, collecting the good from working hard. Jahan, I believe that the angels are showing you today, as Murphy, brother. I believe the angels are showing you that you have gotten farther than you think. There may be parts of your life that you're feeling are, like I'm going to use the word empty. There's parts of your life that feel empty to you, but there's other parts of your life where you have really achieved what you're wanting. There's soul satisfaction somewhere in your life right now. And so, what the angels are wanting you to know is that when you stop for a minute and realize what it is that is working out, there's nothing better than that. Money is not the only way to feel wealthy. You can you can feel wealthy when you're walking through a garden like this. Look at all the flowers blooming. This is a reminder, too, to see abundance everywhere. Next time you're outside, Jahan, and you're taking a walk, I want you to look at the trees and imagine counting the leaves on the trees. Imagine it. And every tree has literally hundreds and thousands of leaves. Nature is full of examples of abundance. Look at this card. Look at all those flowers. Imagine if it was your job to count the petals on the flowers. This is the challenge for us when we're waiting on what the divine is doing. How much abundance can you see around yourself every single day? I would start journaling that. I think you'll be amazed, and the universe will probably make you laugh. Okay, so go forth and prosper, Jahan, and stay grateful for the things that are working while you're waiting for other things. Okay. If anybody, welcome to those of you who are new to my mission here at Fish Out of Water Tarot, where we are trying to find connection in a world that's full of disconnection. If you'd like a reading, so you too, stay blessed. Thank you so much for visiting, Shahan. I appreciate it. And I'm going to draw another card here for the collective, but if you're watching and you'd like to have a card drawn for yourself, please just add a comment and I'm happy to do that. Okay. So while I'm waiting, let me get my, let's see, what else was I going to say? Oh, I do have readings that you can get over on the Etsy shop. You'll find a link in the description box. And if you use the code word angel, you will receive a discount on the readings there. So take a peek. And let's see, who shall we draw for connection? You know what? I'm going to draw a card for anyone who has been ghosted. So have you been ghosted? Has somebody disappeared from your life and you don't know why? Let's pick a card and see what the angels have for you if you have been ghosted. Ah, thank you, angels. I love the angels when they come through for us. So, if you've been ghosted in a relationship or maybe even in your family, some people just disappear with no explanation. The angels want you to know that you can see this as a fresh start. Okay, look at how she's carrying the wand. It could be used as a defensive weapon, right? Like, stay away from me. But she's just a little child, so it's a sense of look at her face. She's happy, but she's also protected. She's got the wand in front of her and the angel behind her. So if you have been ghosted, guess what? It's probably the best thing that happened. I know that's hard to take, but there's a quote that says, rejection is protection. And I sincerely believe that. Ghosting is hard because you don't get a chance to have it finish, and you don't get a chance to say your part. And so what I'm going to advise you today, if you've been ghosted and you never had the chance to finish it, write that person a letter. Okay, write the person a letter. You're never going to send it, of course, but let your heart pour out. What would you have said if you got to speak to them before they left you? What would you have said? So go ahead and write that, and don't be surprised if you don't feel some emotion coming up while you do that. And then there's a second part of that suggestion. Write a letter to yourself from the person that ghosted you. I'm going to do that myself. Thank you, angels, for that idea, because I have a person that echoes back into my mind frequently that they ghosted me. I have no idea why. I feel like I must have done something that's hurt their feelings, but when they don't tell me, I have no idea. So, this idea of writing a letter to myself from that person and acting as if I am that person and explaining to me why they ghosted. How do I know it'll be correct? Well, I don't. But your imagination is so strong. You'd be amazed at how that kind of exercise can help you to move on. Because when you look at this child, this is the ace of fire. This is manifesting. This is going forward with positivity and straightforward direction from your intuition, right? There couldn't be a better promise for when you've been ghosted. But the key to success is to be able to lay down the wounds from the past and walk through fresh like a child. So that's a good message for me. I hope you enjoyed it too. And I would love to read a card for you on this idea of finding connection. So if you'd like a card, please just add a comment. I'd be happy to draw one for you. And also, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do that so that you'll be notified the next time that I do a live reading. Okay, so let's see. What else? Who else? Ghosted? Yes. Okay. So how about let's do something for employment. So if you are a person who needs to find a new job, you need to get connected to a better feeling position. Okay. So this, I'm going to sip my coffee. So this reading is for people who are either unemployed right now or the word underemployed, which I love. So this is upcoming. We're looking at March. And what is the energy around people who are looking for career? They want some kind of connection. Hi, Anna Maria. How great to have you here today. I'd be happy to draw you a card, and I will do that as soon as I finish this little reading. This one is for those of you who are looking for a job, some kind of new connection career-wise. Now, for some of you, it might be a side hustle. You know, you might already have a career that you love, but just doesn't pay enough for you, right? So this may be guidance to add a different connection along with what you have, as well as the unemployment situation. And let me get this where the light is better so you can see this. I don't want it to be so dark. Okay, so we're looking at the Six of Earth, charity, generosity, and windfall. Okay, so first of all, I'm excited to see this card for us when it comes to the word windfall, because when you are looking for career guidance, having a nice good luck money card coming up for us in the middle of it is a good thing. But part of what I want to say too is that if you are feeling a pinch around your career and your money, where you just feel it's not working out the way you want, it's real hard to not have worry be part of it, because it's like, oh gosh, I mean, rent is coming, March 1st is coming, where's the rent coming from, right? But if you look at this angel juggling the money, and isn't that the truth? Money comes and money goes. It flows. That you, it may not be flowing a lot in your direction at the moment, but that's ebb, right? The tide goes in and it comes out. Money comes and goes. And so the idea of creating more of a cycle, right? So you don't get stuck in the ebb, so there's not enough finances for you. A good answer is the idea of charity and generosity. I know it seems completely counterintuitive to give away money when you don't have much. However, you will find there's a wonderful book that's called Thank and Grow Rich by Pam Grout. And her book is filled with ideas about how to use gratitude in practical ways. I have the good fortune of being in that book. I don't know, I can't explain how it happened because it was just a coincidence, but I wrote a letter to the author of a book and I thanked her, Pam Grout, because E Squared is the book that changed everything for me. I read it in 2015 and I loved E Squared so much that I wrote an email to the author and just told her, thank you. Well, she ended up emailing me back and asked if she could interview me for my story and all the things that have happened since I read her book. And she put my story into her book, Thank and Grow Rich. From that, I have met people literally all over the world who found my work through that stroke of good luck and generosity. Now, Pam did not know me. It was very generous of her to add my website to the book so that people could find me. I did not ask for that. Thank you, Anna Maria. It changed my life, literally. But what I learned from that is she told me, I said, if there's one thing that you would have done differently in your life, what would it be? And she said, in the beginning, she worried too much about money. And what she realized is that money never ran out. It never ran out. It might have gotten low, checks might have bounced, but money comes in a cycle. She never had a regular job her whole life. She was a writer, but she had lean times. So if you're a person who really is torn, maybe you love your career, but it just doesn't pay enough, you have to realize that gratitude and generosity will open doors for you. Okay. And also, your angels want to guide you. Notice how there's a coin in both hands, as well as the floating coins in front of her. Join this angel, give some money away. Dollar bills. You could go out anytime with five $1 bills and simply give them to people. If you've never tried this before, try it. It's the craziest experiment ever. And it's from Pam. She suggested it. But if you just walk up to somebody, give them $1 and say, be blessed today, or this is your lucky day. Here it goes. Don't spend this all in one place, kind of make a joke out of it. It's really fun. I've given some big sums of money away a couple times and totally shocked people, like leave a $20 tip for a $5 meal. Things like that shake up your world and they shake up the world that you give to also. So there's a little message for those of you who are looking for money energy or job energy. And now, Anna Maria, here is your card. Just hold your situation in your mind. What is it that you would like to hear from the angels about? You take a breath. Now let's pick one. I'll pick from over here. Anna Maria. Ah, beautiful card. This is the ego card. So what I'm seeing here, Anna Maria, what strikes me immediately is look at that bird cage. Just look carefully. The door is open, but the bird is still in the cage. So I'm also seeing how the angel's wings are kind of curved forward in a protective stance. So, Anna Maria, I have the feeling that there's something going on in your life that is not what you think, that you may feel trapped or, oh, yes, Natalia, I'll put your name down. Anna Maria, you may be feeling trapped by your circumstances. That there's a softness here. This pink keeps coming at me big time. So I feel like there's times when you may need to be stronger than you are. I mean, people see you as soft and approachable, and maybe you're the kind of person who does just cares for people, or you're putting other people's needs ahead of your own. But you're not as trapped as you think you are. The door is open. I believe that this angel is calling you to look carefully to see where you might be um, being fooled right now. That there could be somebody who is very dependent on you. And so you feel trapped, like, well, if I leave, what will happen to that person? Don't be concerned about your material needs as you make these decisions, because, and again, this is only one card, and I'm just telling you what my feelings are about it. But I feel like because the door is open, there's a step that you can take that will really change things. Trust your inner guidance. Trust the connection you have with your source as you make this. I almost feel like a disconnection is on its way for you, Anna Maria. I hope this all makes sense for you, okay? Be sure, if you wish to reach out, you can leave a comment below, and I can put in there my email address, and then you could contact me if you have a question. But I think that this is a tender card to me, and the universe knows for sure this isn't easy, okay? All right, anybody else? I have Natalie. Thank you so much for joining me. And you know what? A couple things. Don't be surprised if a message that you're hearing is for someone else resonates with you. It's no accident that people on a call or a video like this are drawn with the same kinds of core issues and core desires. And the desire to be connected is crosses humanity. And sometimes you have to leave, you have to disconnect in order to be connected to your highest good. I know that quite well, having experienced divorce, which is so tearing when it's going on. But once you're free of it, you look back and think, holy moly, where would I be had I not gone through that disconnection? All right. So, Natalie, let me just draw a card for you. For those of you who are here for the first time, thank you so much for visiting. Be sure to hit the subscribe and the thumbs up, because that tells YouTube you are a fan, and then they will tell more people to join us. So, Natalie, let's look at your card. Oh, Nine of Water. Okay, let's take a peek at this card. So, Natalie, I believe that what the universe is showing you this morning is that your dreams matter. You have been, okay, let me just sink into this a little bit. What I'm really aware of is this feather that is at her throat, and it's glowing. So, what I'm seeing here is that there's something around your voice, Natalie. Are you a singer? Are you a speaker? I feel like there's wishes that you want to make. And I love the dandelion. The dandelion is so beautiful at every time of its life. It starts off as bright yellow, which is the color of the solar plexus. There's something about your voice, Natalia. Um, Good morning, Ray. There's something about your voice. I don't know if people have told you that you have a beautiful voice, but it's maybe you should be singing or sing in the shower. But the dandelion itself goes through these big transitions, Natalia. When it first grows, it's bright yellow, which is the color of your solar plexus, which is your personal identity, okay, and your confidence. But then, as the dandelion transitions, it turns into this beautiful white puff that when the wind blows, hundreds of seeds are released and fly through the wind to go plant new plants. So I just feel like this feather at the throat, there's something about your voice and your ideas that are definitely needing or wanting to be freed up. The feather needs to fly, just like the parts of this dandelion do. So, what I would do is write a list, Natalia, of all of the things that you are good at. Okay, all of the talents and the skills that you have. You could go back to when you were a child and you could write down the things that you enjoy doing. For example, what pops into my mind is coloring with crayons. and colored pencils, something like that, that going back over time, what are the things that you're really good at, and to celebrate them. Because this maturing, this coming through a transition. Oh, I love that you love to color and paint. So do I. So there's something about expression. Um, Perhaps I just feel like the universe is calling you to speak up and to let your wishes be known, and that there's something about your voice that's going to bring you connection. All right. Unusual reading. Let me just see if, oh, another thing I'm aware of. First of all, please Google dandelion, Dandelion. I think dandelion, I think. But anyway, if you can find a YouTube of yes, a connection. There's something, the angels, there's a human connection that we're calling for today in our readings for March. It's like, what is the kind of connection that'll bring us joy as humans? Sometimes it's a love affair, sometimes it's a boyfriend, girlfriend, sometimes it's just a friend, it could be a family member, it could come through employment. So that's what I mean by connection. And also look at all the dandelions in the field. When dandelions are released, there's so much potential. So, Natalia, I'm excited for you in March. I think that you're going to be experiencing some very cool surprises. Keep your eyes open and be sure to celebrate your talents that you have and watch for opportunities. Okay, is there Ray? Welcome. Oops, I dropped my card. I'm glad you're here. You're welcome, Natalia. Thank you so much for visiting. And if you're first time here, if anybody else has just popped in, I'm Catherine, and you have found Fish Out of Water Tarot. And the reason that I like to focus on the fish out of water idea is because feeling disconnected from your family, feeling like when you walk into a room you don't belong there, just finding some way to feel like a kindred spirit with people, and to be more confident when you're out there socially. So, Ray, I hope I'm saying your name right, Ray. Let me pick a card for you. And again, our cards today, we're asking the angels for guidance on feeling connected. If you've been isolated or if you've been canceled by people, sometimes life is cruel that way and we don't get to finish our connections. So we want to know what it is that the universe has for us. And oh, Ray, what an interesting card for you today. So we're looking at the Four of Water. So the water is the suit of your emotions. And this can be a card of sheer boredom. So when it comes to your current connections, friends, family, career, there's just a sense of dissatisfaction. There's just something missing. You're really wanting to have a deeper sense of connection with someone. This could be, if you're single and you're looking for love, this could be the motivating factor to make a change. Could be true in the career also, because boredom is a sign. Now, what I notice about him is that he's staring at those three cups in front of him. The ocean is behind him. And they do say, there's a saying that says you should never turn your back to the ocean because a rogue wave could come at any time that could get you quite wet, right? So, because of his boredom, he's not even alert to his surroundings. So, Ray, what I would recommend to you is to see if this is resonant. First of all, what part of your life are you feeling a little bit of discontent? And then I want to point something out. Look behind. There's a larger cup glowing with light with the angel's wings on it. So, what this suggests is turn around, right? Turn around and look at the opportunity that's right in front of your eyes. Now, there's a cool little exercise you can do to prove this point, because it's true that we have such a limited perspective, and the more we stare at the circumstances that are right in front of us, the more we forget that there's always an opportunity around the corner. So what you do is go into a room in your home and stand in a corner so that you are looking right into the corner. Okay, and just see the limited perspective that you have when you're standing in a corner with your eyes open, looking at the wall in front of you, and then turn around. And when you turn around, please be alert and enjoy the two perspectives, because this is so, it's just a vivid example of how limited we can be. And we're not hurting. There's nothing tying us up. There's no one talking bad about us. There's, it's a clear visual idea of what it's like to have a closed perspective. I double dog dare you to do this. A lot of times the suggestion sounds silly, and I know it does, but being too focused on what's causing you a problem closes you off from solutions. Okay, so suggestion for this: if you are bored, if boredom is a part of your life, or just feeling like what's the point, I would do some journaling about it. Ask yourself a question: why am I feeling so bored? What's really going on here? And one good idea for when you just can't figure out what to do. Gosh, this is a good idea for me too. Part of why I love the readings is because I need them as much as you guys do. But one thing that's very helpful is left hand, right hand journaling. So what you do is you get, I like to get two different colors of pens, and they use one pen that speaks for my dominant hand, and the other pen speaks for my non-dominant hand. And you basically interview yourself. You start with your dominant hand and write, why am I so bored? And then switch hands to your non-dominant hand and write whatever comes out. It usually takes 2 or 3 questions and answers before you get into the rhythm, but you'll be amazed at what ideas come out when the pen, crayon, or pencil is in your non-dominant hand. Part of that is because your brain never uses itself that way. When you don't use your non-dominant hand for writing often. And so when you're allowing that to happen, your brain uses parts of itself that are not typically used. I wish I could explain that better. I'm kind of a brain geek person, but it's true that when we use different parts of our brain, when we're trying to process emotions, great changes come. So Ray, give that a try, please, would you? And let me know how that works for you. Okay, so is there anyone else here who would like a card? I would be happy to draw one for you. And if you're new here, I'm sorry that I hear myself. But I'm Catherine, and this is Fish Out of Water Tarot. And we are looking for the angels to give us messages on connection when you're a fish out of water. Okay, so there's boredom, but some regret. So regret and boredom are like cousins. Okay, so what I would do, again, same thing, use the word regret. I would try that left hand, right hand journaling and interview yourself. Why am I feeling so regretful? Put the pen in your other hand and give it a try. Don't be surprised if it gets emotional. You're sure welcome. Don't be surprised if it gets emotional. Remember, this is the suit of cups, and we do want flow. We do want the emotions to flow. And any of you, if you, I love doing private readings. It's something that when I have time, I definitely want to read for people privately. I do have time right now. And on the Roger, I saw that. And I would love to read your cards for you. So please do check out the Etsy shop. Use the word angel in the discount code, and you'll find that a private reading is very affordable. And I would love to do that if you're drawn. If you are here for the first time, welcome. There are many, many videos on my channel, and whatever your birth sign is, that you should be able to look into the readings that are there and find readings that are supportive, and know that I really do want to create readings that will lift you up and to help you. Okay, you're welcome, Ray. Let's pick a card for Roger. And Roger, thank you for visiting me today, Ray and Roger. Roger, oh, nice, King of Air. Okay, so let's take a look at this beautiful card. Now, this would be good for my friends in California. and Los Angeles, this is what you are experiencing right now. I lived in Southern California for many, many years, and in the San Diego area, and even down there, they're having ice and snow in San Diego County. And so, this card, first of all, maybe you live in one of those climates. But this card, it shows a lot of achievement and what's the other accomplishment. So, Roger, there are parts of your life where you are seen as an authority. You are seen as someone who handles things well, and people rely. You may find that people rely on you, maybe a little bit too much. Maybe you wish that they were a little bit more independent, but the position that you have shows that you're worthy of respect. Now, there's no problem with this card except that sometimes when a person has this kind of natural leadership qualities and people see them as solid and clear-minded and able to make really good decisions in that. However, the weakness here is that the heart can be um, not closed, but it's almost like there's not time, right? It's like so busy doing life that matters of the heart fall to the side. They're just not prioritized. That's a good way of putting it. So this card is calling you to lay down the sword. There's something going on in your life right now when it comes to connection where there's something you can't get connected to. There's something that you're desiring, but you just can't quite connect for yourself. So I'm seeing that there may be um, just the need for some warmth and openness to enter into the situation. So not quite sure about this one, Roger. Take a breath. What I'm really aware of here, I can't take my eyes off it, is this glimmer of light up here. See that? I think that sneaking up from behind you, something that you're not aware of, is going to cause some sort of melting of your heart. There's something coming forward in March that's got a glow. I'm also aware of this energy coming from the tree. See the rays coming out? So, yes, there's something behind you. Something's coming that you're not aware of. It's very small and subtle, but you're going to have to turn around to appreciate it. So, in your life right now, what I suggest is that you spend a little bit of time asking yourself, what is it that you really want when it comes to emotional closeness? Be honest with yourself. Set a goal. Set a goal for March to see life in a softer way. And then follow your nudges and hunches because for sure there is so much honor and respect. You deserve it, but you also need to turn your heart towards something that's brand new. Wow. Roger, I hope that was resonant for you. That really touched my heart. And anyone else here, would you like to have a reading? You can just add a comment. I'd be happy to read for you. I'm going to be on for a couple more minutes here. You're welcome, Roger. I just feel like heart to heart, whatever it is you're going through, I'm just feeling it and wish you well for the month of March. Anybody else going once, going twice? um, Let me see. I'm going to draw a card for the collective. You know what? I've been doing this. It's happened other weeks too, but I'm going to do a card for parents because there's a lot of parents who have been cut off from their families. They may feel that somebody's angry with them. There's been a departure. Lots of families have issues around being connected to your own family. And so I'm going to do one for people that are feeling cut off or canceled by their family. Ah, hi, Anna Maria. But I love your comment. So if you have been canceled by your family, or if you have purposely cut off a family member because it wasn't good for you to be with that family member. A lot of times this comes through various addictions or personality problems where you can't be fully yourself unless you cut someone off. But this can be really painful in a family. So I want to draw a card and ask the angels to speak to those. I have this in my family. And it's generational, where people have just opted out. And even if you say to them directly, what is it? Why am I disconnected? They don't respond. That could be very painful. So let's draw a card for that scenario. If you've been canceled by your family and you don't know how to reconnect. Oh, wow. Thank you, angels. I love the pages. Okay, anytime that a page shows up in a reading, it shows an eagerness to learn. There's a sense of accomplishment in the past and a desire to go forward purposely. Now, the 10 of air, which comes right before this card, it's the 10 of swords in the regular tarot. I have to have some coffee, excuse me. I always like to look at the page of swords or the page of air connected to the 10 of swords, because the 10 of swords is a brutal card. It shows backstabbing. Okay, a figure with 10 swords sticking out of its back. And that is perfect for somebody that's been canceled, because if a family member has disconnected from you, it's painful on the regular, you know, and you do feel the unfairness of it. What did you do? Why are they being so cold hearted? And it's like the 10 of swords is like 10 questions you keep asking yourself over and over again. Is it my fault? What could I have done? What do I do next? And bottom line, sometimes you just have to come to peace with the fact that that person is gone. It might be easier if they were dead because they're gone. But then I think to myself, this is how I am. I'm geeky. I'm neurodiverse. My brain works different than some people, than typical. But what I do in my life, because this has happened over time, is I'll create a storyline that works for me to help myself feel better. I can't go to that person and talk it through, because if they refuse to pick up a call or they don't answer an email, there's nothing you can do. But I thought to myself, 200 to 300 to 400 years ago, if somebody decided to go live in a different country, they became an immigrant and they moved to a different continent. They got on a boat and left. They never saw their family again. Hello, my darling Jamie. Welcome. If you left your country or your homeland and got on that boat and left, you would go all the way across the world. You would never see your family again. It's just a part of it. Now, they didn't have talk shows and the internet to get on and complain about the fact that they're disconnected from their family. No, nobody will talk to me. So and so has cut me off. But in reality, back in the day before there was any kind of social media, people just had to deal with loss. Loss was a big part of life. And so the 10 of swords, with all of the pain, is behind us. The page of air means that we're looking at our situation and we want to learn how to deal with it. If my goal to learn is to learn to find connection with people who get me, I find that very attractive. If somebody just gets me. Why is it true that most of the people that get me are not in my family? I don't know. But now I can't help but see this leaf down here. See this leaf that's laying there? I just feel like that's that sense of isolation where nobody gets me. But the plan that I have for my life right now is to find people who do. So I'm learning. I love how he's hiding behind his sword. It's too skinny to hide behind, right? So there's the part of him that wants to be still secretive and to take care of himself, of course, because if you've been ghosted by your family or canceled, you are needing to take care of yourself. But he's trusting in his tools. He's learned his lessons well. The whole suit of air is full of challenges, how we conduct our mind, how we walk through challenges, and do we allow ourselves to fall into a victim energy? Or do we stand up and say, look, I've learned my lesson and I'm walking forward? So I'm really grateful for this message today because I can be out. Thank you. Yes, finding your soul tribe. Exactly right. And it becomes easier with the internet because of the magic of it. I mean, there's people on this call from several countries right now, and people who hear my interpretations of the cards feel like I get them, like I get you. But how could I? I'm just a voice. I'm just a voice on your device. And yet this proves to me the energy is real, that there's something like real in the air, in my voice, in your ears, that draws us together. Because if you've been canceled by your family or somebody in your family doesn't get you, it's not a curse. It's probably a blessing. But finding people who get you is going to change your life. This, you know what, I have to tell you guys, the reason I started doing cards like this is because I need to draw cards more often because these cards speak to me. And I know that the people who listen in, there's some resonance there, and we're like creating our own choir of this beautiful energy that wants to make a difference, wants to have a better life and have the best life we can live, even though we have some relatively, how can I say, insensitive family members who may not understand us. Just a beautiful card. What I also noticed before we let him go is how casual he is. Look how comfortable he is. His hands in his pocket. He's just relaxed. And after all of the drama and trauma of the air suit, he's just enjoying where he is and what he's going to learn next. Okay. So if you're new here today, welcome to Fish Out of Water Tarot. I'm so glad to have you. I'm going to be on for a few more minutes here reading cards. So if you'd like a card, just and please put a comment in there and I'll be glad to draw you one. Jamie, I'll draw you one here next. And please do hit that subscribe button and the thumbs up because I feel it. It's the way you can reach out to me. And I feel a vibe from you when you guys hit the thumbs up or make comments because I do love spending my time with the cards and with my family, the people who are out there, the fish out of waters. Okay, or fishes out of water, however. Okay, let me draw a card for Jamie. And hold in your mind, Jamie, what it is that you would like to feel, a connect with the universe, and let's pull. Um, I am thrilled to announce this card because remember, even though, oh, I love it. No way, really? I have to go watch your reading. By the way, you guys, please check out Enchanted Mystical Tarot. There's Enchanted Mystic Tarot. She is fabulous. I've had a personal reading from Jamie, and she's right on. So do connect with her, okay? And Jamie, I'm happy to pull the sun for you today. I always get goosebumps when I see the sun because it is known to be the most positive card in the deck. Now, remember, all of y'all who are watching, we are all in this sun energy. When you're on a group call like this, you may receive, and I suggest do claim every single card in this reading that applies to you. Sipping my coffee. Mm. Okay, so the sun, it's a beautiful card, and this is the Guardian Angel Tarot. For those of you who are not familiar, and let's see here. I want to make sure that if I lose my audio, one of you guys let me know, okay? Because I've had a little bit of tech issues. But for the sun card, the reason that the sun is so exciting is, I think, because remember I mentioned 300 or 400 or 500 years ago before about like if you had a family member that went off and lived in a different country, you wouldn't see them again, but you might be sad, but you're not going to let it ruin your life back then because it was normal. Well, back in those times when the sun came up, it was a miracle. when the sun rose. They had no way of knowing that the dark what was about, right? There was no real knowledge about that centuries ago. So with ancient people, when the sun came out the next morning, it was profound. It was quite profound. It was a miracle. And so because of that, that's what I bring to this card. It's like when that sun comes up in the morning, we should be full of rejoicing, right? It's the proof of cycles. It's the proof of seed time and harvest. It's the proof that no matter how dark it is, the sun always comes out. So, Jamie, when I look at this card, I know a little bit about what's going on for you. This is a really terrific promise because the whole reading today is about connection, and it's about wanting to be connected. Yes, love and romance is a connection, but also career connections, and to be able to make decisions that keep you in the same place for a while, right? Also, it's confirmation of a move that you've made recently, that the darkness that you experienced is behind you. So as you're going forward, um, be sure to see yourself as surrounded by the angelic energy. See yourself with those giant wings right behind you. Yeah. And understand that the sun, here's a question for you. Does the sun get sad when it's nighttime? There has to be cycles, and the sun can't shine everywhere at once. So that's another thing that you are. Oh, this, hang on, let me see how I can express this. Hang on. Oh, okay. Jamie, this is for you. You are not the light, right? You are just reflecting the light. So you don't have to provide the light. You just interpret the light. I hope that makes sense to you, girl. And let's talk soon. Jamie and I are tarot buddies. So, like I said, check her out. And now we have Barbie. I think I saw Barbie pop in there. And so I'm going to grab a card for Barbie. Thank you so much. I will post this reading, and I'm going to put timestamps for all of the cards. So if you're coming in late, be sure to go back and take a peek at any of the readings from the cards that I have drawn earlier. There are some who are there are some here who this is your first time. And for you, thank you for stopping in out of the blue like this, fellow fish out of water. I appreciate it. And if you are a first time viewer, be sure to hit that subscribe button, smash the like button. I have never said that before. Smash that like button, and let's make magic at Fish Out of Water Tarot. Okay, so Barbie, I love, love, love. I love this deck. This is the Guardian Angel deck by Rodley Valentine. I think I own 3 of his decks. I just love them. But this Two of Earth, this goes along so much with the rest of the readings today because there's been several messages that talk about going back in time and figuring out what brought you joy when you were a child. What were the things that you were talented at and good at? So first of all, this makes me wonder, Barbie, are you a gymnast? Do you walk on the balance beam by chance? Or perhaps gymnastics has some sort of connection for you? But the Two of Earth is any of the cards that are a two. It's about choices, and it's about the delicate balance of work and play. All right. So, in looking at this childlike, looking at this child in this pose, and I'm looking at her concentration. I'm aware, what I'm struck by is this is such an interesting card. I'm struck by the empty boat. Okay. So I feel like what that's symbolizing is that she can't be in the boat and playing on the fence at the same time. And that she, in a way, if she were in that boat and she's a child, what could she actually be doing? She could be guarding the boat, like perhaps somebody said, okay, your work is to guard this boat and make sure that nothing happens to it. And she just got tired of the job. So she said, kind of like, screw the boat. And she's taking time out to play. So what I'm seeing here for you is that there is a change coming. Look at all those butterflies that are all over. And there's something about leaving something behind that is empty and walking towards something that's new, but unknown. So, Barbie, I feel like the answer that you're looking for is really lying within your heart for sure. That if you are being pulled into two directions, try to pick the one that has the most light-hearted, playful energy in it. Turning your back to any kind of forced responsibilities or um, priorities that other people have pointed you to, right? Or priorities that are being put on you instead of making your own priorities. It is a delicate balance, but she's having fun. So as you're making this next decision, make sure that you acknowledge the things that make you feel empty. So that might be a good activity for you to do, is to just get out a piece of paper and just do an inventory. What are the parts of your life where you feel empty? And write them down and see if there's any one of those that you can really put down and turn away from. Okay? Okay, excellent, Barbie. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new, welcome to Fish Out of Water Tarot. I'm just getting used to saying that because last week I was Tarnished Angel, and I love my angel presence and the tarnish that makes me human. But I really want to deal more with people who want to feel connected and don't know how to do it. That's where my heart is. And so I'm going to be on for a couple more minutes here. If anybody else would like a reading, please pop your name in there, make me a comment, and I'll draw you a card. And then I'm going to be drawing a card for our close. And thank you so much for your love, your time, your attention. Your support means the world to this fish out of water. I love coming here knowing that there's people out there who love the cards, they love the stories, and they want to be part of what I'm putting together. And I am so grateful. So let me just draw a card for us for our closing energy. And there's somebody coming here. Murphy might bark. He sits right behind me. I'm sitting on a kitchen chair. It's like a wooden chair, and I'm sitting forward. And there's hardly any room back there. You guys have probably seen videos of Murphy because I put him on my channel. He's a Jack Russell mix. And another friend of mine, Jeannie, you have a cat that comes and reads with you, don't you? That comes and sits on your shoulder, I think. But the animals that come and sit next to us or near us when we're giving readings, it's just a sense of presence, right? It's a sense of here and now. And he could go lay in the other room, but he wants to be part of this energy. And so I wanted to share that. Okay, one more card for the collective to close out our Sunday live reading, and another of cards in the suit of air. So we had the page of swords, right? And before the child with the sword. And now we have the knight, which is the next card in progression. And so this is the perfect card for us to close with today because the Knight of Air moves quickly. The Knight of Air has purpose and there's action. And if you look, see, he's holding a bouquet of flowers in his hand. I love this. So, first meaning, of course, some of you on this call, you may have an unexpected love interest pop in this week who has, how can I say this, who's disarming and charming and generous. So I'll just spit that out for any of us. I wouldn't mind if that happened. But when I think of the theme for this reading and about connection, I love the action of this card. If we take the lesson of the page of air, and I'll have a timestamp on that read, and we do the learning that we need to do to understand the disconnection, that it makes sense to us. If there's people in our lives that have ghosted us or canceled us, or we just feel disconnected, that is what it is. See those mountains in the background? Put that mountain behind you. Walk forward. Another thing I love is how prepared the figure is for the cold weather. A nice down jacket, right? So you're able to protect yourself and to stay sheltered, but the glow of who you are is shining right out. Your heart is more, how can I say, your heart is I want to say feelable, your love is radiating in such a way that people are feeling warmth from you. That's what I'm sensing. And so I believe the universe is just wanting us to disarm ourselves. Notice how both arms are down to release. And even now, I feel my body relax. So, everybody that's listening, let's take a breath. Let our bodies relax. Disarm yourself. You are intellectual to a fault, but let that go a little bit. Stay determined, stay relaxed, and stay prepared. March is going to be a month of action. There's going to be things happening in March that will change your life. It will not like in like a lion, out like a lamb type of a thing, where March may have upheaval, but there's going to be action to your benefit. And the universe is very generous right now. So I started off the reading with this challenge, and I'm going to repeat it. If you want to play a game with the universe that is so fun, the answer is to give away money. This comes from the Think and Grow Rich book by Pam Grout. And what you do is you take $5 bills and you purpose to give them to 5 people. Go out, you can go to a park, you can go to a store, you can go anywhere, and then you will see people and you will get a nudge. Give $1 to that person. Just say it's your lucky day. Don't spend it all in one place and give them $1. Watch their face. And then take note of what happens next. This is an experiment that has never failed me. And I've given away a lot of money in single chunks like that now and then, like a big tip to somebody or just a gift that someone didn't expect. There's nothing more powerful than giving away money. Pam says that, Pam Grout, I'm talking about, her book is Think and Grow Rich. And she says that there should be a new definition of wealth because stacking up wealth in piles doesn't help humanity, right? So, what she wants to define wealth is as the ease and freedom to be generous. The ease and freedom to be generous. If that's what wealth is, then you could own $5. Your net worth could be $5. But if you give $1, you're wealthy. And it's so true. So watch people's faces. If you don't want to use $1, use a quarter. But you'll be surprised at the energy you'll feel when you do this gratitude exercise. So that's what I have for us today. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining me. I can't tell you how much I love and appreciate you. Those of you who come back and visit me time and again, I love you. If I could, I would hold you like this and have a big hug. I will see you next Sunday for live. And if you're interested in private readings, gosh, reach out. The information is in the description box. I would love to do a reading for you. Think about it. If you had like 9 cards instead of 1, what might that be? I'll tell you what it is. Lots of fun. So drop me a comment and I will be glad to get back to you ASAP. Go forth and prosper. Have a beautiful March, and we will see you next Sunday. Bye. Love y'all.